Hey everyone, welcome to this weekly Sidereal Astrology forecast for the week of January 22nd to the 28th of 2024. All right, so this week we have a full moon on Thursday, which marks the heightened energy of the lunar month, usually a time of getting some new perspective on things and making some shifts and changes to move forward the remainder of the lunar cycle for the next 2 weeks. Most of the aspects are concentrated towards the end of the week. We've got Mercury and Mars conjunct. Mars, the planet of our drive, our assertiveness, that proactive energy, contacting Mercury, the planet of our minds, of our communications and our day-to-day energy, really. So there can be a bit of directness, assertiveness there coming through our communications and learning and uncovering things, and perhaps some understanding about our needs and our identity and how to be expressive of that as well. We've got Uranus going direct here this week, so slowly things moving forward in regards to change, in regards to innovation, progressiveness, doing things in our life that speak more to our excitement. This is all likely to shift this week, but give it some time going into the coming weeks. And over the weekend, we've got some aspects with Jupiter as well. The Sun will be squaring Jupiter, Venus trining Jupiter. So there can be a bit of expansive energy, expanding our mind and our literal horizons, especially with all of the fast-moving planets, aside from the Sun, are in Sagittarius at the moment. So the theme certainly still is on expanding our mental and literal horizons. All right, so let's go and take a look at all of this here in more detail when we return. Alrighty, so here's the sky for this week. We're going to look at this for each day of the week, starting first with Monday, January 22nd. And as you can see, we're using the visible sky on this channel, which is very different from mainstream astrology, which unfortunately does not use the visible sky. So you will notice a lot of the placements are different. Like I'm about to say that the full moon will be in Cancer, but maybe you're expecting it to be in Leo. If you're new to using the visible sky, check out the link down below for more information on using what we call true sidereal astrology. All right, so let's do a bit of a recap because we did have some sign changes just towards the very end of last week. So really coming into this week, we still have some of these sign changes. Venus entering Sagittarius to join up with Mercury and Mars, adding to the theme around connecting to our more spirited side, wanting to expand our perspective on life, and perhaps also a bit of that adventurousness as well. So Venus starts to add to the value of this, starting to see more of the value and enjoy expanding our mental and literal horizons. The Sun has shifted into Capricorn. That's going to be increasing this week. So our view of life has shifted to where maybe things can be still a bit productive. Capricorn's all about responsibility, and with the Sun here, we're really placing a theme on the coming months on how we can cultivate things that we know will take time, patience, and perseverance. So it really is a combination here between the fire energies of Sag and the more grounded energies here of Capricorn. All right, so as you can see here, a lot of the aspects are concentrated towards the later part of the week. Again, the full moon will be on Thursday. So as we're approaching Thursday, there is that increasing of energy and likely some shifts and changes there around that Thursday time period. But taking a look here on Monday, since we don't have any major aspects on Monday or this whole early part of the week, it'll likely be placing more of an emphasis on the moon's placement. So the moon will be finishing up Taurus on Monday, and so any themes around groundedness, taking things one step at a time, and stopping to smell the roses has been good over last weekend, and maybe a little bit in Monday as well. But as the day progresses in Monday, and really as we go all the way through Wednesday, the moon will be in more practical Gemini. And so this whole early part of the week up until the full moon, I think is great for really getting into that Mercury kind of energy, the learning, being curious and interested. So that could be, of course, in our own private lives, doing some reading, some learning, some studying, getting into the real practical or tangible side of things. But even a bit socially as well. Gemini can be a good time to connect with our peers, our neighbors, those of equal status that we see and just want to exchange with and learn from, whether it's learning through information, whether it's exchanging goods and services. Gemini is a great time to be exchanging and learning and being interested in general. So that's really the first part of the week here. And then again, the full moon will be on Thursday, and that's going to be in Cancer, which is going to balance out a lot of the more Capricorn energy where we've got the sun. So again, the sun in Capricorn is going to be about viewing things in the context of the long-term patience, responsibility, discipline. But Cancer counterbalances that by helping us connect more to what's important to us on an emotional level in life. So while it's good to be productive and a little more detached like that with Capricorn, Cancer reminds us to connect to what's meaningful to us on an emotional level. So a good time to do a status check with that side of ourselves and of our life. How is our emotional connectivity with ourselves? Are we caring and protecting for ourselves? And externally as well. It's a good time to connect with those that we consider like family or those we want to protect or care for. It's a good time to get into that protective nature of Cancer, whether it's for ourselves and others. So it's a good time to do a status check with that. Really, how has this energy been the past 6 months as part of the solar cycle? And now the halfway point of the month and the halfway point of the year in the context of Cancer. How are these things going? How is that energy in our life? And through that awareness, probably making some shifts and changes in order to facilitate and continue to develop that protective energy of Cancer there. So along with that, we do have, again, I'm going to jump ahead a bit. Mercury and Mars are conjoining. They're going to conjoin on Saturday. That does add to a bit of fire energy there when it comes to really our day-to-day lives and how we're communicating. But because they're getting close to that conjunction on Thursday and Friday, they will be both squaring up to Chiron. Now, it's not a major aspect, but Chiron is the comet of healing and personal transformation. And so while it is a time of starting to perhaps get into some of that fire energy with our day-to-day or with our minds or with our communications, it could be quite healing or therapeutic. In fact, with this square, there can be maybe some wounds that can come up around either of these things. Our proactivity, which might influence things like confidence and assertiveness, and maybe some wounds around that, or the Mercury side of things, which could be around our communication, our willingness to learn and exchange with others. This can all be perhaps some wounds coming up, but also a great opportunity to face those wounds and do those things in the face of those wounds, which can, again, be very healing and transformative as a result. So we're likely going to feel more of that transformed energy as we come out of the Thursday, Friday, and into the weekend. But Thursday, Friday is definitely good to challenge ourselves in that sort of way. And then as we do start to get into the weekend, around Friday onwards, and for the whole weekend, the moon will be in Leo. So it's a great time to be expressing ourselves and connecting to what we love in life and the people we love as well. So self-expression, passion, love, all of that, really good for the weekend. So with that Mars conjunction and Mercury, we've also got Uranus going direct. So really the past 6 months have been good to maybe reconsider what excites us in life, reconsider what we enjoy in terms of what gives us that sense of freedom and excitement. And this can all start to be moving forward. So as we start to get into next week, implementing a bit of this, what does give us that sense of excitement? What is it that our true self wants? How can we induce some change in our life so it's more in alignment with our true selves? This will be a slow integration, but we could notice some shifts with that over the weekend as we will likely start to implement that with Uranus direct. All right, and then the week ends here with Venus trining Jupiter and sextiling Saturn. There can be a bit of that, again, value to expand our horizons. We already saw that with Venus and Sagittarius. There's also a value to ground things a little bit. So again, this sort of grounding the earth and the fire energies, certainly all week, but good weekend for maybe enjoying some of that, maybe connecting in our relationships in that sort of way. We could have a bit of an innovative mind or innovative ideas with Mercury trine Uranus over the weekend as well. That's going to segue nicely into next week with Mars trine Uranus. But Uranus, that innovative planet, also activated with our minds and communication. All right, everyone, so that is the week in a nutshell. Most important is the full moon, again, concentrated on Thursday, the apex of the lunar month, time for insights, new perspectives, which then helps us recalibrate and readjust things in our life. Most of the aspects are towards the week's end, with some of that fire energy around our day-to-day, our communications, how we're thinking about things, maybe some healing to do in the context of that as we lead up to the weekend, which can be very healing and transformative as a result. We got that expansive energy with Jupiter. The sun will be squaring Jupiter as well. So how can we constructively work on some of that free-spirited energy of Sag? And Uranus, the planet of what excites us and what gives us that sense of freedom and what's more in alignment with our true selves, is starting to go direct. And so that's great to start to be incorporating into next week. All right, so everyone have a fantastic week. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to click the like button if you're watching this on YouTube. And if you're not yet signed up for MTZ Insiders, it is a free newsletter where you do get these videos released first before YouTube and extra content not normally released on YouTube. If you haven't signed up yet, it's absolutely free. There's a link down below for that. But again, have a great one, and I'll see you all next time for the next astrology forecast. Take care.